What's going on, everybody? This is your girl Golden Aurora with my first ever review of Insecure. I am so excited to get into this because I've been such a big fan of the show since the beginning. So before we get into this, I just want to say that the way this review is going to go is it's going to be a little bit analytical and some of review. So it's going to be a mixture of both. And I think that's how I'm going to be structuring this format. But thank you all for joining me and to listen what I have to say. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now, just starting off from this clip right here, I am in love with this shot completely. Like just seeing the overview of the land, and from the jump, they're already telling us how they're going to start off this show. They're telling us we're going on a trip. We're going down memory lane. We're about to go through a journey right now. They already stated that from the beginning, just from this shot alone. So already in love with the details. Now, something I was surprised to see here was in the car, it's just Kelly, Tiffany, and her husband. We don't see Issa, Molly. It's just them three. And I was wondering to myself, like, why aren't they all riding together? But, later we find out that Issa gets a whole plane ride there because she's going to be a panelist at the college, and that's amazing. So she's getting flown in. But Molly, we don't even really get an explanation of how she got there or why she didn't ride with them. So already just some concerns there. And now we see Kelly scrolling on her Instagram, looking at posts and everything. And then she comes across Molly's page, and we can just see she's been going through it since the breakup with Andrew. And I like this detail about her Instagram page because we really don't see full body pictures of Molly. We see her in fragments, we see her in pieces, and I think that speaks to who she is right now, trying to figure out who she is again and who she wants to be when she gets into a new relationship, or just piecing herself back together as a whole. So I like that aspect about it as well. Now, where Molly was saying how her therapist says reconnecting with everyone and everything is a good way to check in with reality. When she said all of that, it made her sound a little bit like she was rehabilitating from something. It made me feel like she was going through rehab, like she was an addict, and she was addicted. She wanted a man so badly. It did come off as an addiction, but when she said it, it felt really weird to me. But if it's helping her, then I'm all happy for her. And I think that's the way her friends were taking it as well. Just seeing everyone's reactions, like, where'd that come from? And then we find out why Kelly isn't on the list. And it turns out that they think that she's dead. Like, she's hurt by this. And I mean, who wouldn't? With her being there, nobody actually notices that she is actually alive and that she's standing right here. It's like she's invisible to everyone. I think this was a way for the writers to say that we're paying attention to what you all were saying about how Kelly doesn't have enough depth to her character. And I think this was kind of a funny way of putting it on there. But it's like this storyline actually gives some depth to her. Like when everyone's joking in the car and everyone can see that she's visibly upset that people don't remember who she really is and that she's literally not dead and how that's really affecting her. But everyone's just ignoring it like, girl, you're all right. But the thing is, Tiffany sees it, but she doesn't say anything. It all comes full circle in the end when they give her a fake memorial to show how much they care for her and how much like she's been there for them, because she has really had their backs. When Issa and Molly were going through their whole fight between each other, Kelly was the one that was there trying to be like, oh, Issa, you need to call her. Molly, you need to call her. Like, both of you need to make up, trying to fix the whole relationship. And she was there for Issa when she needed financial help, was giving her financial advice, was trying to put her on the right track. And then there's Tiffany. In just about majority of the scenes in season 4, we see her taking care of the baby. She felt really unappreciated as a friend. She is the glue that keeps them all together. I like seeing more of Tiffany and Derek's relationship this season. They've always been such a beautiful couple to me, and I like seeing this trip as a getaway for them and giving them time away from their baby because Tiffany is probably still going through postpartum, and Derek probably does need a break from his fatherly duties. So I'm glad that the both of them are coming together in love and while also supporting their friends, just taking some time out for them and their relationship. Now, I loved seeing their class gathering. I loved seeing the flute player because she reminded me a lot of Lizzo, and I'm all for it. And then we get to meet their old friend Cheyenne, who's still the life of the party and the same person that she's always been. And then they all start rapping like they never missed a beat. Issa and Molly finally letting their guards down and just enjoying the moment. And so that's what Cheyenne is doing for them. She's that focal point that is helping them remember the good times. We later get to Issa's time on the panel and they announce her business along with the other entrepreneurs. And while they're answering questions, they're kind of the typical type of answers, like believe in yourself, don't focus on the negative. And the audience loves it and sees it as inspiring, which it is, but it's also not as real. Like they didn't talk about the hardships they faced, it was all surface level. But Issa's answers, they were real. She stated that she didn't know if she was on the right path and she didn't quite have the business all together, even though it does make her seem a little less credible than the rest of them, especially because she didn't know what all of her business letters meant. I'm glad that Issa was being true to herself, but at the same time, I wish that she had some more clarity on her business and the things that she was trying to do, but I understand. She's still growing. She's still figuring it out. While at the alumni meet and greet, Molly meets back up with an old flame. So she asks Issa whether she should go for Amari or not. And like Issa said, she was never really looking at him like that. And I'm glad that she says this to her, especially so she wouldn't fall back into old patterns. I'm really happy that at the end of the episode that Molly and Issa were reconnecting and being honest with each other, but it wasn't harsh. It was truthful in the way that they love each other. Even still, while giving this advice to Molly, she didn't bring up Lawrence at all throughout this episode to anyone. I think it's because she doesn't want to seem like the messy friend anymore. Like how Tiffany was saying at the beginning, we're not going to focus on Issa's mess and we're not going to focus on Molly's mess. Another reason I'm not totally sure if Molly's and Issa's relationship will last is because when Molly asked Issa if their relationship is going to be okay, Issa didn't respond. She didn't say yes and she didn't say no. It doesn't seem like she's making as much as an effort as Molly is to fix their relationship. But it may change since they bonded over getting robbed by Cheyenne, which was funny. And then we get to the end of the episode. Lawrence picking up Issa from the airport and they kissed. And I was over the moon. I was ecstatic. I was excited because I love their relationship. I love their chemistry between each other, but I can also see how it's messy. I also had the feeling that it wouldn't last. And then we cut to the end where Issa tells Lawrence that she thought it over and their relationship comes to an end. Very sad, but at the same time, I think Issa needed to do that in order to move forward with her life. I also didn't see her dealing with the whole situation with Condola and the baby. But even though she ended their relationship, it's still a possibility that she might change her mind. But we're just going to see how this goes in later episodes. Now, what do I think about episode 1, Reunited? Okay. I think it was a great first episode. We're seeing everybody's growth, how they want to change, where they want to go in their lives. Oh, one more point. I saw Kelly starting up her podcast, Penny's Preguntas. I want to be like Kelly when I grow up. I do think this was a solid episode. We learned more about the characters' lives, who they were in the past, and who they are now. We even got to see a past version of Issa with the braces. I used to have them too. So I can't wait to see more episodes. I'm excited. And thank you all for listening. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And thank y'all so much. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.